Very, very good evening to you. Lovely to have you with us, and a big dinky-do from me, Scottie McClue. Fantastic. Saturday night, nothing gets past me, and it's time for the internet phone-in. 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all nations, I say. Lovely to have you with us. Dinky-do, of course. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that you're watching Scottie McClue live on the big one. That's what it's all about, and we love it. Now then, so much to talk about, so little time to do it in, so make sure you've told everybody about the broadcast. Tremendous. And good evening, McSplit. How lovely to have you with us, and Dinky-do from McSplit. Hi, Scotty buddy, says Martin. Hello, Martin. Dinky-do, lovely to have you with us, and a very, very warm welcome. Fantastic stuff. You won't believe this, but I found a Scottish Union flag. It'll be here in 2 to 7 days, says Earth. Where are you again, Earth? Do tell. Mon the Celtic, says K-Dog. Yes, indeed. Mon the Celtic, mon the Hoops, and we are the people, in the interests of balance, of course. So there we are. That's what it's all about, I say, Dinky-do. Have you told everybody about it? Have you shared the broadcast? Do let us know, and we'll see what is what. Now then, who else have we got here? Follow us as soon as you come on. Towns that need regeneration, but the local council have no money. Who do we fix the towns to regenerate them? In other words, who do we get the money from? Well, you see, the thing is, if Scotland goes independent, I should say, then it will do very, very well financially, and we can start to rebuild the towns. Come on, the Rangers, says John. Right, that's enough for the football now. We've done a Celtic, we've done a Rangers. That's it, balanced. Where's your boat, Captain? Same place as yours, moored alongside you, Captain. There we are. Hello again, Scotty. Numpty Heat. Lovely to have you with us. Good evening, Scotty, says the wonderful Kirsty Allen there. Good evening, Scotty, says Suzanne. Fantastic. Hi, Scotty, I'm listening in Gloucestershire, says the fabulous Sally. Sally Webb, Dinky-do. We love Gloucestershire. I know it so well. I was at a wedding recently out near Tetbury in Gloucestershire. Do you know Tetbury at all? Companies will come to the local towns. So there we are, Dinky-do. Who are the Billy Boys? They were gangsters in the 1920s and 30s, and they were sorted out by Percy Sillito. Hello, Scotty, Dinky-do. There we are, fantastic stuff. Dinky-do from Kevin, Heather, and Miniature Panda, called Daisy from sunny Paisley. Kevin, lovely to have you with us from sunny Paisley. With that, good evening, Scotty, Dinky-do, says Paul. Tetbury's not far from me, says Sally. Well, it was absolutely wonderful. Yes, indeed. Now then, who have we got here? Shall we open the phone lines and see who's about? Would that be a good idea? There we are. Open up the phone lines and see what is what, I say to you. That's it. So, phone lines open, guys. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Dinky-do, it's Kareem, Scotty.
Ah, Kareem, excellent. Lovely to have you with us. Well done. Were you ringing and ringing?
Sorry, Scotty?
Were you ringing and ringing, or have you just rung when we opened up?
I've been ringing and ringing.
Ah, top man. Lovely to have you with us. Dinky-do.
Dinky-do, Scotty. Thank you for having me. How's your day been?
Fantastic day today, Kareem. I mean, great things. I couldn't believe it. We'd heard so much about the dreadful, dreadful weather we were going to get this weekend. And this afternoon was just stunning. It was a spring day. So I got out for a walk.
It felt like a spring day. As I mentioned earlier on when you were on your pop-up, I was down Erskine, and it was not, if you know what the big Erskine Hotel is.
Yes, I do indeed. Yes, the Mar Lodge.
Yes.
Yes, that used to be the Erskine Hospital.
Yes, and well, in front of there is a walkway, and I've never been at that site. Normally it's the other side where you walk towards the Erskine Bridge. It's a nice big park, but I thought I'll go the other way and investigate, and it was nice. A bit muddy, very muddy, but it was a lovely walk.
Well, that was a huge, I think it was a Campbell outpost at one point. There's a big monument in the field there. And Kareem, if you'd seen the Erskine ferry in its day, the queues before there was the bridge. And the ferry was a chain-driven ferry, so it sort of propelled itself back and forwards on huge chains.
Right, okay.
Wonderful thing, the Erskine ferry. And if you were crossing to the other side of the river, so you had no Erskine Bridge, no motorway, so it changed the whole thing. You drove through Bishopton and you turned left from Bishopton towards Erskine.
Right.
You know, and you went out to the little church, and the minister at the church was Douglas Alexander, who's a great friend of Donald Dewar and took Donald Dewar's funeral, and was the father of Wendy and Douglas Alexander.
Right.
And he was a great preacher, I have to say. There we are, and a great character, Douglas Alexander. And now, what I was going to tell you, the ferry. You could either go Erskine. If it was queued right back to Bishopton, you pressed on to Renfrew. And you went out the Renfrew Road from Paisley, and there was the Renfrew to Yoker ferry.
Right.
Now, if that was queued solid on a Friday night, as it often was, you then drove into Govan, and you could get the Govan ferry, which had one that went up and down with the tide. And that would take you across. Then, if you really couldn't get that one, because that was busy as well, you went over the bridge, you went into the city and over the bridge and out the city again, out the Great Western Road.
Yeah. Goodness, that must have been good times.
Well, there was no Clyde Tunnel. You see, what you would do now, you would say if there was a problem with the Erskine Bridge, you would just nip through the Clyde Tunnel.
Yes, well, true. How long has the Clyde Tunnel been there for?
1965.
Right.
1965. So what's that? 35, 55, 57 years. And I remember it opening. Erskine Bridge was 1971.
Right. Okay.
And they launched the QE2 in 1968. Yard number was at 736 or 763, can't remember. And there was no Erskine Bridge at that point.
Right. I can't imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Scottie, but you know that you can walk through, like, underneath in the Clyde Tunnel, but I don't know, is it safe to do that? Or
well, I don't know. I've never done it. You see, I'll tell you another thing. I don't know if you know, in at where Scottish Television is, you'll see a rotunda, and there was a rotunda on the other side, and that was the Finnieston Tunnel.
Right.
And you could walk under that, till about maybe the 1970s, maybe late 70s, early 80s.
Right.
You know, so that was the Finnieston Tunnel. But I mean, nowadays, these places would become a haven for, people with substance abuse and all that sort of thing. You see what I mean? Because it's sheltered and out of the road. And then further in, I think there's a tunnel in the city centre that used to take carts, had lifts on it. Somewhere around Stockwell Street, somewhere like that. I think there's a tunnel there as well. I might be wrong on that one.
Right. It's fascinating, isn't it? What it used to be, what's underneath our city and what's all closed down.
It's fascinating. I mean, we've got terrific reaction here. Wait till I read you just a little bit while you're on, Kareem. Scottie, did you manage to defeat the Daleks, and how hard was it? Well, I only went up one step, and that was them. They couldn't follow me at the time. Now they fly. Hi from Greenock, Scottie. You're here tune. Hello, David. Hello, Scottie, says Liam. Hello from Illinois in the United States. Good to see you, sir. Scottie, you're a lad. So there you are. Catch yourself on. When did the tolls at Erskine Bridge stop? Now, I'm trying to think when they stopped. Oh, well into the 80s, 90s, were they not?
All right.
And you stopped and you paid your, trying to think what it was. I think it might have been a shilling.
All right.
I think it might have been 5p. But somebody that knows their stuff will tell me about that one.
All right.
Never a dull moment. So you went for a walk. Did you see the old slipways for the ferry?
I've seen there was a lot down there in the port. There was an interesting object. It looked like a big container. Like when you look walking down the path, you look to the left-hand side, and it was a Clyde in the water. But it looked like just a big, massive tanker. And it was corroded, but I've got no idea what it was or what it was for. But it was quite interesting to see that. But yeah, it's a new walk, and I'll definitely go back again, but probably when it's a bit warmer weather.
Aye, when it's a bit warmer, Kareem, and the rest of it, just watch for the mud. Don't get too close to the rivers.
No, I wouldn't want the dogs to fall.
No, but see, when you are waiting on, because obviously the river's tidal, but see, when you are waiting on the ferry, very often the ferry would have to wait because a huge ship was going down. And you could almost have touched the hull of this thing, Kareem. I remember standing beside my dear father, and there was this huge hull passing down the river very slowly, you know what I mean? Because it had to watch the navigation.
Oh, I just think for the local people there, Scottie, like in Erskine, it's an absolute fantastic facility. And dog walking all around about there, it's just amazing.
Oh, wonderful! I mean, Erskine's grown and grown and grown. It was just a tiny hamlet, and you had the big house which had become the hospital. And one of the reasons they made it the hospital was after the First World War, a lot of people were so badly injured and they'd lost limbs. And an artificial limb at that time, a great wood for making a wooden leg, was willow. And there was an abundance of willow trees down there at the river.
Right.
So they did that, and a lot of old soldiers spent their time in. And there was a place you could buy baskets and things that the soldiers had made. There was a little shop. And then also you got entertained by like a great fiddle player and things like that.
Right.
You know, it's a wonderful. I mean, Erskine Hospital is the most incredible setup. And just down the road at Finlayston lived a very famous general.
Right. Okay.
You know, very senior guy, and that was Gordon Macmillan of Macmillan. And I was fortunate enough to be invited in for afternoon tea with Sir Gordon and Lady Macmillan. And what a lovely experience that was. He was fascinating.
Yeah, lots of good stories.
Great stories. And he was still on his mettle. I mean, he was in his 80s then, ramrod straight back, full of a twinkle in his eye, very, very popular man. You know, I mean, on the board of New Towns and things like that. I think he was on the board of the East Kilbride Corporation. And another of his great friends was Jack McClue and Viscount Muirshiel. You know, and they were McClue's shipping.
Right.
You know, from Kilmacombe. So, and the Lithgows lived just up the road as well from Erskine.
Right.
You know?
Do you know what's interesting, Scottie? You said Bishopton earlier on, and you know, Bishopton, when I was looking for a house in June, when I was moved up prior to that, and I actually went down to Bishopton, and Bishopton, the new area that they've built, which is Bishopton, is bigger now and larger than the old Bishopton.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, they've got new entrances to the motorway and everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely huge. And in Bishopton itself was this outstanding real ale pub called the Golf Inn. And, you know, in the days when you could have a light refreshment and still drive, I would, one of my great treats when I'd finished work was to drive down towards Greenock and pop into the Golf Inn.
Right. Wow. Well, Scottie, I'll play it quickly before I go because I know the other callers, but it was just to get people to think about that we had obviously about renewable energy and electricity. As we know, electricity is going to go through April. We're all going to get hit pretty bad.
Yes.
However, do you not think it's a bit of a slap in the face that they're saying use electric cars, and now people are getting electric cars and the price is going to probably be so much dearer?
Well, I don't know that we should buy into a system that's not quite ready yet. Electric cars can't go very far. They're very, very expensive to buy. And there's not enough charging points.
Yeah. I heard a rumour, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like when you have to get a new battery when it gets to 80 or to 100,000 miles,
yes,
the price of a new battery would be probably when you get a new car. You know, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, retailers tweak things so that you would think, do we get a battery? Do we get a car? You know, I mean, you know, all this has been going on for years, inquiries into checking prices. Are prices been fixed? Why is a car so expensive? If you pay £30,000 for a car, which virtually nobody does, so they take it on the money. You see, a lot of things, Kareem, are to do with selling you money. Right? It's selling you money, but the smart people realize they have to give you something back for that. So it's either a house or a car in the first place if they're wanting to sell you big money. So a mortgage is a company selling you money because there's usury involved. In other words, you're paying huge interest on that money. So over the years, they'll get back a small fortune.
It's sickening.
Now, it is sickening, but you see, it shouldn't be, because if things kept going in Scotland and if the independence people keep their nerve, you know, then we should be getting almost free energy.
Well, I agree with that. And at the moment, Scottie, with a lot of things that are happening down south, I think you'll be an expert at this because you get trolled quite a lot by numpties, and
yes,
you basically block them. But I've had somebody kind of trolling me recently on Facebook where they keep sending me posts about information, and when I'm reading it, I'm actually thinking, this doesn't seem legitimate. This actually seems a fake kind of.
Just block it, Kareem. If it's nothing that is of any benefit, or you don't know what something is, just block it. I get idiots on trying to argue with me, and they start off quite nice, enjoy the show, Scottie, blah, blah. Then they start, you think you're somebody, you're nobody, nobody listens to you, blah, blah, blah. And they've completely lost it. You know, so you just have to block them and dump them, because these are idiots, Kareem. They've got nothing they can offer you. They've got a very, very low IQ. And they're also not decent people if they can't appreciate somebody like yourself.
Well, thank you, Scottie. But it did bug me during the week, because like the information, I think I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but the heading, it was about independence, and it was like independence for Scotland. India F2 will be 3 times worse than Brexit just now.
Yeah, just a lot of rubbish. So that's the kind of nonsense you're getting. You see guys popping up. If you listen to them even for a few seconds, they don't know what they're talking about. Completely clueless. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of them will be again panicking that we'll lose the monarchy. Remember, we never ever grant independence until the monarchy is secure.
I am not worried about the monarchy at all, because I do think we've spoke so many times about this.
Yes.
56 pence and £1 once a year to the royal family is nothing at all. It's less than a bag of crisps. And on top of that, what I've said this in the past, what they will bring to an independent Scotland in terms of tourism.
Oh, huge.
Potential, which you've mentioned, Linlithgow Palace, what's it, that could be refurbished. And
I would love to see Linlithgow refurbished, because it was sacked, funnily enough, by the King's brother just before Culloden. Now, he did it out of sheer vandalism and badness. Well, not entirely. He was panic-stricken that Prince Charlie had enough support, and that would become his seat of power, because that's where Mary, Queen of Scots, lived.
Right.
So it's very, very powerful. And if you ever go to see Linlithgow Palace, it's just a shell, but it's very impressive.
Can you go inside?
Yes, you can visit Linlithgow Palace. Well, you certainly could. I would imagine you still can. I don't know about opening hours with the COVID stuff, but you know, it will be, if you can see it, it will be opening. There's a bit of the worst thing that's happened to it, apart from the fact it's got no roof and no interior, is there's a little bit of green where the water pipes run down the side. But all that could be refurbished. And you know, it's the brigade that shout out, why would you worry about that when we can't feed the children? These are separate budgets. You're better grabbing the money and having a national asset.
Correct.
You know?
That annoys me what you've just said there, and that's key, Scottie, about budget. When you've got so many people complaining, there's this money, take the money for this, take the money for that.
Yes.
That's all fine, but then you're going to have another group of people complaining, well, wait a minute, what's going to happen to us if you're taking the money away from that?
Well, once you sell the family silver, you've got nothing. So then you're going to face the children, you're going to face the homeless, you're going to face those who can't find work and say to them, sorry, there is nothing. We've sold everything. It's gone.
I just think tourism is going to be such a key role, Scottie. And I think
well, in Scotland, it will be, because the place is not only beautiful, but it's soaked in history. Now, you visit Carlisle. Carlisle's another one that's soaked in history. I mean, William the Conqueror built that castle.
Right. Well, I read briefly about Carlisle that it used to be partly Scottish, so, you know, fighting on and off over the years.
Yes, so. Scotch Street, and Bonnie Prince Charlie went to Carlisle and then to Preston. And then they went to Derby, pardon me, and unfortunately fell for a trick that the English were waiting for them in London. Had they marched on to London, they would have been pushing at an open door. People don't realise these things. I mean, Edinburgh was taken over by the Highlanders when the French were in the castle. The Highlanders took over Edinburgh one afternoon and the French soldiers ran away. And the Highlanders were in charge. But I would imagine by the time they'd emptied the cocktail cabinet and all that, you know, they thought, there's not much fun in this.
Goodness. Well, listen, Scottie, I'm going to say thank you for taking my call. I'll be listening to the rest of the show, and Dinky-Doo, and have a fantastic week.
Your call's been a privilege. Have a lovely week. Bless you, Kareem.
Thank you. Bye, Scottie.
Dinky-Doo, sir. Bye-bye now. There we are. That's our Kareem. Fantastic call. You're live at Scottie's Phone In. Who's that? Hello? Hello?
Sandy Frybrook, sorry.
Sandy from Ibrox, how are we getting on, Lala?
Not bad, mate. I just heard a wee thing about Carlisle there.
Yes.
I done my family tree, and I can trace my ancestry back to William McGill, who was a prisoner in Carlisle prison.
Correct.
And it was of independence.
Yes, McGill. I think it was in those days McGill. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. All the way back, and I couldn't believe it when I done it all the way back. But the reason I got that far, because two people in Canada and my family done the same thing, so it was already done for me when I had to look at that.
Wow. No, these things are fascinating.
Amazing. But earlier on, you were talking about ferries and river crossings. I do a bit of magnet fishing.
Magnet?
Do you know the oldest place in Glasgow we used to cross the River Clyde?
Go on. Yes, in at the city centre.
It was from White Inch to Braehead.
Oh, that one, was that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I know you could walk across the Clyde in the city centre before it was deepened.
Well, this was down near Braehead, and there's a sandbank there we used to walk across. So I was there with my magnet. You'd never guess what I found.
Go on.
After 2 days, I found nothing. So on the third day, I found a Jim will fix it badge.
Oh, I don't think we'll bother with that. Thank you very much for your call. Right, there we are. Now then, welcome everybody. If you've just joined us, you're watching Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on the big one, the internet phone in. How amazing is that? Tremendous. We're live on YouTube. We've got one or two dafties on here on the old TikTok. Can you give a shout out to my gallant friend Sean? He's out having a blast in Brighton tonight. We love that. Dinky-Doo to everybody in Brighton. There we go. Fantastic. Did you hear about the massacre in Glencoe? I did, actually. I have heard about the massacre in Glencoe. I can tell you. You're live at Scottie's Phone In. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie.
Hello, who's that?
It's Emma.
Anna. Emma, all right, Martin's Emma.
How are you, Scottie, my man? How are you, son?
It sounds like Martin. Do you and Emma sound quite similar?
I know.
What's happening?
Glasgow, very, very windy.
Very, very windy. How have you been doing? Are you okay with the storms?
Yes, I am. I am doing very well in the storms. It's not as bad down at Dawson, but I'm still watching Take the High Road. I am on 362 now.
Well, I looked tonight just to check on your behalf, and I saw they're way up over 500. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Wonderful. And what number are you on? What number are you on?
5. I've got about give me a second check. 562 I'm on.
Wow, that's amazing, Martin. You must be loving it. You'll be becoming an addict.
Yes, and me and him had a good Valentine's on Monday as well.
Did you have a lovely time?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. What did you get up to?
I had a salmon steak and a bottle of champagne and that.
Wow.
And what's the say there? I liked your video on YouTube, the one you were saying of when your hat was almost blowing off, and I liked your accordion playing as well.
Oh, yesterday, yes. We had a fabulous live on TikTok this morning. Absolutely mega, Martin. Just crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Thousands watching.
Yes, nice.
So that was very nice. I was really very, very flattered when I came off of it.
So, how are you finding all the ones that you finding okay?
Yeah. I mean, we're all right, and we don't seem to have lost any slates or anything like that. So, touch wood, he says, patting his head,
But the storm's supposed to come back tomorrow, the same, supposed to be.
Yes, I mean, today was just beautiful. I went out for a walk this afternoon.
Nice.
It was just absolutely lovely, Martin. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Fantastic stuff. So there we go. Anyway, I better press on, but listen, bless you guys.
Love you, Scottie.
Love you lots, and Dinky-Doo. Dinky-Doo, Emma. See you guys. Bye. Fantastic. That's our Martin. Now, lots and lots of reaction from you. Hello, says Martin's left his phone on, has he? Wait to see. There he goes. Hello, Scottie. Dinky-Doo, says Numpty. Good evening, Scottie. What have we got here? Hi, Susan. Good evening, Scottie, and everybody. The wonderful Dee Gourley is with us. Bless you, Dee. So lovely to have you with us. I'm okay, thanks, says Susan. Hi, Kirsty, says Martin. They're having a good old chat. There we are. Fantastic. Good to hear from Dee. There's the wonderful Gordon Robertson. Hi from Gordon and wee Oliver. Fantastic. Love to you guys. I'd like to say hiya to my Doug, the man in the moon, and everyone else that kens me. Professor Numpty Head, you are world famous. So that's a lot of people you're saying hi to. Never heard of Stockwell Street area tunnel, but the Finniston tunnel had lifts, which you took a horse and cart. Gordon, I might be thinking of the Finniston tunnel. I wondered if there had been another one further in, but perhaps not. Thank you for that. Appreciated. Lol, Prof, stop it, says Suzanne. Erskine toll was 60p before it was abolished. So what's that, Neil? 60p? No. That's 12 shillings to cross the bridge. Before it was abolished, I crossed it 3 or 4 times a week doing gigs in the West Highlands. Yes, it was a wonderful thing when it opened, the Erskine Bridge. And somebody said they shouldn't have built it so high because there wasn't a lot of big shipping going to Glasgow by that stage. You don't want to walk through the tunnel, Scottie. Right, JD, we shan't do it then. I don't think you can walk through it now anyway, can you? What have we got here? Bishopton used to have the ROF, the Royal Ordnance Factory. Yes, it did, Gordon. And I think that's all built on now, or getting built on now. The Ordnance Factory was huge. And when you look at some of the houses, they were Royal Ordnance houses built for the workers, and they're almost identical to those in Gretna, which was a massive ordnance factory as well. Yes, the Royal Ordnance Factory. I remember it. And I've got a very, very, very interesting story about it. I'm good, Susan. Staying indoors with the horrible weather, says Susanne. Best thing, just block them, says Sally. Quite right, Sally. Dear Sally Webb there. Keith Snedden, what have you been up to? Keith Snedden has just sent me £5 on the YouTube. Keith Snedden, that is incredible. You're so kind. You sent me £10 the other night. £5 is a lot of money, and it's very, very much appreciated. Guys, fantastic. If anybody's feeling flush, you can send me £1 or £5 or £1 million. Apparently, you click the dollar at the bottom left. I think that's great. Keith, thank you so much. There we are. Lemon character and baby lemon blowing a party horn while marching. It says here. Let me see. Wow. Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much, Keith. That is just beautiful. There we are. Now, we only get this weather when the baked beans are on special offer. Yes, I wonder, why do they put suddenly the beans on special offer? People, they hope you'll buy more than one tin. Kareem's really nice, says Kirsty Allen. Kareem is an absolute 100% gent, solid gold. I think we should hire Mr. Putin and get him to take Berwick upon Tweed back into Scotland. Yes, oh, well, Mr. Putin, they wouldn't stand any nonsense from Mr. Putin. Just get the tanks round at the border. It's just £5, all adds up. Keith, it's not just £5. It's £5. So there we have it. Hi, Keith, how are you? Says Everyday. Now, there's Kareem, fantastic. Chris, how's it going, Scotty? Sorry I'm slightly late. I've just woken up. I had a gastroscopy, camera down the throat earlier today, and it's floored me. Hope you're good. Chris, these things do. When I was working solidly on radio every night and every day, I was beginning to get a slightly sore throat, and I had to go to the doctor, and they put a camera up my nose. You know what I mean? Can you put the Glengarry on for me? I could, Martin, but I don't have it to hand. As they say, we don't have it to hand. Keith's still in self-isolation. Bless you, Keith. We send you strength. Tremendous stuff. How's your day been? My day, fantastic. It's me, just amazing. Right, lots of beautiful people on the TikTok. Scotty, are you single? You're fit. Don't want to walk through the tunnel, Scotty. Now, you're a fit man. Thank you very much. You're never told. Scottie McClue has joined us. That's what we say on the TikTok. How's your day been? Whose horse is that? That's my horse. So there we are. I love to take the high road, Kareem. I love to take the high road. Fantastic. Martin is watching Take the High Road on the STV player. Incredible stuff. Guys, if anybody wants to give us a phone call, you should see the number across the bottom of the screen there. I'll see if I can get you something else. Hang on. Is that too much there? How about that? Is that better? Across the bottom of your screen, you should be able to see the number there and give us a call. Fantastic stuff. There we are, 9 o'clock Saturday nights. Please also subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's amazing the people that just watch all the YouTubes but don't think to subscribe. And it's a terrific help to build the YouTube community, guys. So come on. There we are. That's what it's all about, I say. I love Take the High Road, says Martin. Good evening, Scotty, from Norwich. Dinky-Doo. So there you are. There's Mike Afton. You look wealthy. How many toilets have you got? Well, I've only got one bottom, so that I only need one. Good to hear. The day's been great. Absolutely, it's me. Can't see the number. Are you looking on the screen on the YouTube channel, Mark? You need to go to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel, which is just Scottie McClue, the internet phone in. Not too difficult. They are not rocket science. Lovely. And you should be able to see the number as clear as a bell across the bottom of the screen. Fantastic. You never troll. Scottie McClue says, spill the beans. No, never spill the beans. Put them on your toast, I say. Has anybody ever heard the expression cool the beans or calm the beans when people get a bit excited and have a little bit of argy-bargy? Has anybody ever heard that? There we are. I still download all your phone-ins. Thank you, Martin. So good of you. Keith Snedden, you naughty boy. Keith's just sent another £5 on YouTube. Keith, that is very, 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 very kind of you. Absolute top man. So there it is. Guys, see when I'm looking at you, does it look as if I'm looking up? There we are. I just wanted to check that with you. Cheese on toast is so good. Please try it. Joab, we've tried it a million times, but there's You Never Told Scottie McClue asking, are you Muslim? Why would you ask anybody's religion? You know fine we're all-inclusive on here. That's a strange thing to ask. Do you wear a kilt? I do, said Sydney. Yes, indeed, you'll see it. If you scroll down on the TikTok videos, you'll see me wearing the kilt. Whew. There we are, fantastic. Keith, thank you so much. There we are. And you've sent a video game controller looking forlorn in between the words. Try again. What I'm looking at here, Keith, you've sent me a lovely little meme, you see, and we don't get it. It describes it to me. Cool the beans, Scottie. Yep. Have you heard that one, Charlie? Cheesy beans and toast. Oh, yes. How do you do the cheese, though, Martin? Tell us more. Cool, says Sedge Sydney. If I remember, Sedge Sydney's in Australia. Am I right, Sedge? Have I got that correct? There we are. Hi, Scottie. When can we buy merchandise? Once I'm TikTok and YouTube famous, guys. So everybody needs to follow me on TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube, and have a look. And there's the Scottie McClue badge. Let me see if we've got it right for you. There we are. Now, can you see, can you all read the badge on the hat? There it is there. Okay, is everybody reading that, Scottie McClue? Dinky-Doo. There's an original Scottie McClue badge. Isn't that fantastic? Dinky-Doo, I say. Beautiful stuff. So that's what we're looking at for merch. Scottie, I made a cheese roll and ruined it. I put too much cheese on it. Can you put too much cheese on a cheese roll? How much is too much? Didn't get your knickers in a twist. That's the other one, Charlie. Right? Don't get your knickers in a twist. Cool the beans, calm the beans. That's the thing. Calm down, calm down. You know? Steady, steady. That was another one. Somebody got carried away. Evening, Scottie from Cumbernauld. I'd phone, but I've nothing interesting to talk about. I don't believe you, Kenny. Everyone, every decent human being, which includes your good self, yes, has got something to do, has got a tale to tell. So you phone anytime. Can you say hi to my friend Zach? Thank you for the help he's given me since my dad passed. Thanks. Kenny, you're very, very welcome on here anytime. Lovely to have you with us. Keep your hair on. That was another one, Charlie. If somebody was doing their nut, there's another one for you. You said to them, okay, okay, keep your hair on. But it was when I was down south, cool the beans and calm. Okay, calm the beans. Calm the beans. I wonder where it comes from. Apple pie and ice cream, says Susan. Anita, Dinky-Doo Scottie. Now, Anita is in California. Anita, we send you love and many, many blessings. There's lots of new TikTok videos and YouTube videos just for you, Anita. You get onto that as soon as you can. Keep your hair on. Newsflash, 309 days to Christmas. Martin, do not wish the year away. We're loving it. Guys, can you tell me, see when I'm doing like this, does it look on TikTok as if I'm looking up or does it look spot on? Right? When I'm doing this, does it look as if I'm looking up? When I'm doing this, does it look spot on? Tell us what. Newsflash. Ho, ho, Merry Christmas, says Martin. There we are. Now then, what in Scott's name, says Mike. Yes, indeed. What the Kevin when something odd happens? Ah, What the Kevin's going on here? Oh, you dirty custard. Stuff like that. You know, look straight ahead, spot on. There we are. So it's okay, Andrew. There's nothing odd looking about it. That's great. Because I looked the other night and one of the recordings, it looked as if I was looking up, I was just looking at the other camera. Toast your bread, put your beans on it and put cheese on it. Put it in the grill, Scottie. When you say put cheese on it, do you mean grated cheese? Or do you mean like, do you use these cheese squares? Can you say hello to Shin in Motherwell? I can, Chin. Lovely to have you with us. What the Kevin? And what in Scott's beans have we gotten ourselves into? How fantastic. Keep your hair on. Calm the beans, everybody. Calm down. You're a bit squint on the YouTube, Scottie. When you say squint, hold on a second. Am I straight on the YouTube now? There we are. Do tell us. Keep your wig on. Yeah, I wouldn't say that to your barrister, though, if you're ever doing something legal. Okay, keep your wig on. And I wouldn't say it to the judge either. Keep your wig on. Oh, dear. Contempt of court, 60 days, all that stuff. Hi, Scottie. Hiya, Scottie. Have you heard of Alex Belfield? You and him should do a joint show. He talks a lot of sense. Roger, I know of Alex Belfield. I've seen his stuff. He's a big star. Somebody told me that he'd had a run-in with the YouTube this week and they'd taken down some of his videos. But I hope that that can all be resolved. So there you are. I have heard of him. And you'll find he uses a lot of SCOTTIE McCLUEisms. So there we are. So DINKY-DOO. Scottie loves his Scottish water. I do, Martin. Thank you for reminding me. I've got a good glass of Scottish water here. Oh, that is absolutely lush. Just tremendous. Are you live from the nursing home? No, Roger, you mustn't assume everybody has your lifestyle. There we are. Okay, did he take a Charlie? Take a Charlie. Have you ever heard he had an absolute Paddy? Have you ever heard he had an Annie Rooney? I don't know what that is. That one. Oh, he had an absolute Annie Rooney. What about an RJ Bargy? There we are. I think that's one that Alex Belfield pinched off me. There we are. You're welcome, Scottie. Thank you, Martin. DINKY-DOO. So there we are. Now then, who have we got? Shush Dippy. Right, Ruben. That's a good one. We hadn't heard that one. Well done. We're getting all the things to say to somebody when they're getting a wee bit het up. Have you ever heard anybody say, no, don't do that. It'll cause a stushy. So there we are. Now, here's one for you guys. And I've put it up on a TikTok and a YouTube video. It's an old Scottish saying. I think it might be a West Coast saying. To sign something was to wash it out. And I put this to some modern Scottish people recently, and they said, I've never, ever heard of that, Scottie. Never, ever heard of that. Now, when I was wee, somebody would say to me, can you sign out the mugs and we'll have a cup of tea? Somebody was staying, they would say, well, I'll stay overnight and I'll sign out my socks and put them in the radiator. They'll be fine. I'll just sign out this sink. And there was a wee girl in a primary school and they were all been given a form for their bus passes. And they said, can you take it home and get it signed? And a wee girl said, is it to be signed in hot water or cold water? So have you ever heard of that? Because I've drawn a blank with it in the last few weeks. I said, remember signed? No, I never heard that. Scottie, where should I put my Nobel Peace Prize when it comes through the post, the windy or the mantelpiece? I would stick it up on the windy, or where you can see it, numpty heat. There we are. Dinky-Doo. Roger's having a laugh here. Choo-choo, woo-woo. Absolutely, Roger. This is an announcement. Who needs their biscuits chewed? Roger. As I say, don't assume that everybody has your lifestyle. Now, there we are. I thought you were live from Nursing Home Central. No, Roger, don't be ridiculous. That's usually for older people. There we are. We are young on here. This is the new youth. Fantastic. If you've just joined us, a very, very, very warm welcome. You're watching Scottie McClue. Hashtag Float High, First Lord of the Internet. This is the big one. If you're following on TikTok, please click follow, get following. If you're on the YouTube, then click subscribe and tap the bell. There we are. That's what it's all about. You're live in Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, it's David. How are you, Scottie?
David, Dinky-Doo, my boy. How are we?
I'm not bad. Just to let you know, your wee face is a wee bit foggy on your YouTube channel, but and I don't know what's maybe it's because it's just the way it is, you know.
Well, it's clear as a bell here. I maybe just have a foggy face.
Aye, and someone also opinionated on your face about 5 minutes ago stating you're left to right, you're sitting up too high. But anyway, forget about that. Right,
can you actually see me though? Do you know it's me?
I can see you.
Oh, well, that's what it's about. There we are. There's somebody sending love to us there, David.
That's good.
And there's Mac the Macam asking how your day's been.
Yeah, it's my day or your day?
I don't know, our day.
Our day has been wonderful. What about you, Scottie?
My day's been fantastic. As I say, it was such a beautiful spring day. I got out for a walk.
Today I was in the kitchen on my mask because I couldn't breathe right and the sun was coming in the window.
Lovely. Have you got a nebulizer, David?
Yes, I have, son, indeed I have.
Right, and that'll help.
Yes. I do it 4 times a day, son, you know.
Aha, just to keep everything going.
Yes, keep it going. Right, Scottie, right, the island of Barra.
The island of Barra, yes. We get all the boys ringing from Barra.
Right, I've been listening. A wee girl phones you sometimes and a wee boy, he wants to be a ballet dancer from Barra.
That's right, and I told him to watch Billy Elliot.
That's right, Billy Elliot, I've seen that. Now, island of Barra, I want to go there in the summertime. It looks beautiful. I've seen the sand and the blue sea.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I'll tell you where you'll see the island of Barra. Do you remember the original black and white movie Whiskey Galore?
My dad used to watch all that black and white stuff. Yes,
That's filmed on Barra.
Right, my dad loves black and white because he's very old, you know.
Because it was actually around Barra, I think, that the SS politician foundered in the fog. She went onto the rocks and she was carrying 50,000 cases of whiskey.
Wow.
And
until
the customs and excise people could get to her, the islanders rode out and got themselves a few cases of whiskey and hid it on the island. Now, it's a great wee adventure, but apparently there's a sad side to it that we never hear, but you will, of course, on Scottie McClue. And that's that it led to a lot of drunkenness and a lot of violence.
Of course, that would happen. Oh, I get that. I don't like the violence.
Because the problem was they were going from having whiskey rationed and probably quite expensive to going to being pashed all the time, day and night.
Oh, wow, it's mad. I was trying to find out how you get to Barra, so I was told you get a wee flight from Glasgow.
Yes, you get, I don't know if it's still a twin otter, and it was Loganair, and they fly you to Barra and they land on the beach. They land on the beach, David.
That beach is beautiful. I've seen it on, I've been looking up the beach, it's amazing.
Stunning.
It's like a beach from America.
And in Castle Bay, in the village, you look out over the bay and there's Kishmo's Castle there, which was the castle for the MacNeil of Barra. And there used to be a lovely story, David, that when Noah, during the flood, said to the Highlanders, come on you get. We're all going to get flooded. In Barra, Noah said in Barra, come on, get on the ark. And McNeil said, we don't need to. McNeil has a boat of his own.
McNeil has a boat of his own, I like that.
McNeil has a boat of his own. So,
do you know what I mean?
You can also get the boat. You can get the boat to Barra. Now, I'm not sure about it, but I think it's a Caledonian McBrain from Oban.
I understand that.
Yes. Because you see, when I was a wee boy, there were two separate companies, the Caledonian Steam Packet Company, which was tied in with the Scottish Railways. And they ran a lot of the steamers, and then McBrain's covered the West Highlands. And they also had buses that connected. So it was nowadays we don't understand what it's like to travel in Scotland to the same extent.
That's true. Where were you last in Barra?
I've never been to Barra. So that's what I was telling the boys. I've never been, but I learned about it like you. And I was asking them questions, and the airport isn't close to Castle Bay. You have to get a taxi.
A taxi, right. But see, me look up Scotty, the pictures are beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, well, you want to see the beach. It's white. It's like real sand from Australia.
And wait till I tell you this. It's beautiful white sands. And I'll tell you where else you'll see white sands. You'll see white sands on Mull at a place called Calgary. And that would be the original Calgary, and it would be Mullachs, people from Mull, Mullach, going to Canada that started off Calgary in Canada, full of Scots.
Yeah. I mean, to just sit on a nice beach these days is absolutely, coming up summertime, hope for a good summer.
Well, that's what we're all needing to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hot this year because we're getting hotter anyway because of the climate, you know what I mean? So they're saying. Here's
another one for you. I saw they're saying, but you would have wondered the other day, you know. If you go to Campbelltown, right, and you can walk out to Davar Island. Sorry, David?
Say that again, sorry.
This is somebody here on the TikTok saying if you go to Campbelltown, you can walk out to Davar Island and go to the cave to see the Lord's Son. Now, what he means by that,
I know Campbelltown
well, what he means by that is on Davar Island, there's a cave painting of Christ.
It sounds amazing,
a cave painting, right, on Davar Island.
Oh my goodness me, that's mad, isn't it? But that's amazing. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, a cave. But see, this cave, is this cave close to water? No.
Yes, it's on Davar Island, which is just off the coast at Campbelltown.
Right, so I hope the water didn't come in if that was the case.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know water goes into Fingal's cave.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. Mendelssohn's Fingal's Cave.
Right, that's a song, right? You're such a clever man, Scotty.
Who's this? I've got a halfway on here called We Never Forget Our Patriots, saying high up the Irish Republican Army. Thoughts on that? The Irish Republican Army was a huge disgrace to Ireland, and all decent Irish people know that.
People are mad.
These people are just daft. I mean, that's why we had the peace agreement. What it was, Michael Collins, it's 100 years since they signed the Irish Treaty, and Irish became the Irish Free State. Ireland became the Irish Free State. And what you've got there, Michael Collins, who negotiated the treaty with Westminster, he got shot. But he was with the Irish Army, the Free State Army at the time. So you had problems. But I mean, all this Irish Republican Army stuff, they died 100% eventually when Lord Mountbatten was killed, because that split their movement right down the middle in 1979. August 79. long time ago, and you still get these half-wits talking about it, you know.
I know, yeah, including I'm sick of this nonsense news about. I don't want you know what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say it.
No, we'll not say it, David. Don't worry. It's not. Listen,
The news is making it worse.
it's not even worth talking about. So there you go.
No, I know. I mean, they're trying to cause trouble, right?
Yes, they're trying to cause trouble because there's peace.
Aye, yeah.
You
It's
see,
terrible.
that's the thing.
Honestly.
People don't always like peace.
Seriously, it's just annoying. And all right, I'm political. I do like my news, but they're just enticing trouble.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, everything's changed over in Ireland 100%. It's a different place. It's getting back on its feet now. You know what I mean?
I love Ireland. I mean, my sign is my capital. It's an Irish name.
Well, I've been right down to the very south, which was the real hotbed of republicanism in the 1920s and the early 1900s. You know. Because you see, it was all born out of what they called the Fenian Brotherhood.
Oh, the Fenian.
And the Fenian was a good, healthy word. People try to use it to insult people now, but it was a good, healthy word. You know, it was very respectable to be a Fenian.
Apparently, I'm one of them. Apparently, but
yes.
I was brought up with that, but I'm not into it anymore.
No. People have moved on, David. We're into having fun. You know, as if we hadn't enough with Brexit and the pandemic without some halfwit talking about that, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy.
Lovely stuff. But crazy. Now, I'm going to have to dash, my boy. Are you and John okay? Is everything well?
Right, and I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I send love to you, and I send love to John.
Thank you, and I love you, son.
And I, night, and God bless you, my dear boy. There we are.
I'll see you next Saturday.
I'll see you then. Dinky-Doo, Davy. Fantastic. That's our Dinky-Doo. That's our Davy. What a fine fellow. Right. Oh, we're still going, guys. Now we're tight for time. I'm going to have to say goodbye to our beautiful TikTokers in a minute. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Scott, hello.
It's Andrew from Ibrox.
Andrew from Ibrox, Dinky-Doo.
I was talking earlier about my family tree.
Yes, you were, and then you said something silly and we had to go.
Yeah, well, I owned a wee can of worms from my family tree. I found out, like, there was a boy in Australia who I used to argue about. He was McDonald and I'm a Campbell.
Yes.
And I found out I'll get McDonald's in my family.
You will have. Yeah. We get murdered by Campbells, and I found out there's Campbells in my family.
That was amazing. And he found out he's got McDonald's in his.
And here's a favourite for you. Here's a favourite, Andy. I'm going to have to dash, but here's a favourite for you. Right? This guy was going on, I am 100% pure Englishman. They got him to spit in a cup. They sent it off to the lab, and he's 62% Argentinian or something. So get it round him, I say. Alec, I'm going to have to dash, but you take great care of yourself, and Dinky-Doo.
Thank you, Scotty.
See you, Lala. Fantastic. Guys, we're going to have to dash. We're out of time. Thank you to our beautiful TikTokers. We absolutely love you, and taralas. There we are. They've had to dash, so that's our TikTokers. Wonderful stuff. We'll pop them there. And I am going to say Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. How amazing. I don't know where Davey was getting that I looked a wee bit foggy tonight because I can't see it myself. When I do that, am I looking right at you guys? I just need to do a little test there. Tremendous stuff. It's an amazing Caves as F document. Susan and Suzanne, Dinky-Doo. Penelope, Dinky-Doo. Can you order fast food in Barra? Do they have to fly it in? No, I would imagine they'll do you something up there. Scotty, I saw your report from the eye of the storm. What happened? I just got blown to bits, blown to smithereens. There's an announcement. Who needs their biscuits chewed? Dinky-Doo. Fantastic. Guys, lovely being with you tonight. An absolute privilege. This is Scottie McClue saying Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Join us next Saturday. Look out for random pop-ups. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get all that sorted out Follow me on TikTok, and we are laughing. There's about 2,000 videos there for your education, enjoyment, edification, and delight. This is Scottie McCLUE saying to every single one of you, Dinky-Doo, stick out your tongues and say, ba-la, ba